This is a video that I've been excited to make for quite a while now. It's a video about how to ask for help online. I see this go pretty well sometimes, and I see it go not so well sometimes. I hope that the ideas in this video will be helpful to anyone who's looking to look for help online in any of the discussion boards, Reddit, Stack Overflow, wherever else. My name is Adam Ross Nelson, and I'm a data scientist. Overall, this channel is for current and aspiring data professionals who are looking to level up or enter the field. I hope that this video and this channel's other videos will be helpful to you. Now, turning to today's topic, how to ask for help online. So the first idea that I have is avoid starting a post asking for help with the words, "Hey guys." Well, that just gets under my skin because I know that half of the population, presumably half of the world using the internet, are not guys. So don't assume that those that are going to be giving you help on your post are guys. Say, "Hi folks," or "Hello everyone." Something else. Pick something non-gendered so you can be as inclusive as possible when you're posting online asking for help. The next one is check the documentation. So before you ask for help, make sure you check the documentation. So check the docstring if you're in Python, and check the documentation for whatever language you're working with and whatever command or package you're working with. If you don't check the documentation before you ask for help, you probably might open yourself up to some criticism, and that criticism might be deserved. I know I've done this in the past. I've definitely posted for help when the answer was there in black and white, right in the documentation. The next one is reference the documentation. If, for no other reason, it is important to check the documentation because that will let you reference the documentation when you post your question. So when you post your question, it's always helpful to say, "I checked the documentation here," or "I checked the documentation there." And then also, if you found what you thought might have been helpful in the documentation, but it turned out to be not what you needed, sometimes you can use reference to that documentation in your question. In other words, you can say, "Hey, I'm trying to do this, and I looked at the documentation and I found some instruction that said this, this, and this, but that didn't quite produce the result that I was looking for. So I'm wondering if someone can help me get back on track." The next one is to think about the question title. So spend some time thinking about your question title. The question title will also be important for when others are looking for your question in the future. That'll help when you can help the world by asking good questions and giving good question titles. So a bad question title is something like, "Hey, this code is throwing some weird error." A better question idea is, "When I was doing a cross tabulation in pandas, I got this result, and I wasn't expecting that." This is much more specific. You're referencing a specific package, and then you're also saying a specific result. Those keywords will help you and others. They will help you and others answer your question, and they will also help you and others in the future who have similar questions. Avoid cross-posting. Cross-posting your question can feel like maybe a smart strategy because it'll broaden your audience. Well, this actually probably convolutes the situation because the two audiences might not be as well connected, and they're not going to be able to build on each other's responses. Pick one forum that you think will be best for your question, post it there. Another tip is to avoid edits. Editing a question can cause confusion, and if you have to make an edit, make sure you explain your edit. Use the word at the very bottom of your post, edit in all caps, short description of what your edit was. Don't be shy. The next one is don't be shy about posting elementary questions. Now, this assumes that you're following all of the other suggestions that I'm including in this particular video. And if you are taking advantage of and following all of the other suggestions that I've posted in this video, there's absolutely nothing wrong with posting elementary questions. If you have a question and it's a legitimate question that you were unable to answer yourself, other people probably have that question. Even if it looks or feels elementary, post it. The next one is make sure the solution is clear. So after you and others have gone back and forth on your question, hopefully you'll get good responses to your question. And if you follow these rules, you generally will get good responses to these questions. Make sure that the response is clear, or make sure the solution is clear. Give reference to a post or a response that answered your question, so other people in the future with your same question will be able to find the best answer. And if your best answer is perhaps a combination of a couple different responses, make a post which describes how you did solve your problem. The next one is be nice and be kind. So be nice and be kind. Most of the people who are posting your posting responses to your question are volunteers. They're doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. It's not their fault. The error is not their fault. The error is not your fault. It's nobody's fault. So be nice and be kind and recognize that everyone here is in the community together, and this is an opportunity to build new connections that might be important for you later. A couple more thoughts here. One of the items that I actually forgot to make a visual for was avoid asking for private advice. It's actually one of the strengths of our community that we have so many public places to ask and answer questions. When you ask and answer a question, you're helping the community out now and in the future because other people are going to have similar questions and they're going to have similar challenges. If you resolve something privately, that knowledge is then private. It's less available to the rest of the community. So on the community theme, keep in mind that we have an obligation to ask questions publicly and then answer them publicly to the maximum extent possible. You need to post a replicable example of what you're trying to accomplish in as much detail as possible. Ideally, you can give some code that will reproduce the outcome or reproduce the unexpected outcome or reproduce the erroneous outcome. Let me show you an example of one time when I posted a replicable example and then also what happened as a result. Here we are at GitHub, and we're looking at a package that is used to help read different statistical files. What happened was I found that one particular data file wasn't working very well with this package. I was able to, fortunately, post a completely replicable example of the problem. The folks who are in charge of this work were able to replicate the problem on their end, and then they were also able to engineer a solution. There was a solution out and released very quickly. That's a success story. Hopefully with the advice in this video, you will also be contributing to your own success stories for yourself and for the rest of the community. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a little bit of fun. I hope you're learning something, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. Don't forget, you're more ready than you think you are. Hit subscribe, check out these other videos, and let's connect. I look forward to being in touch.